Hello guys and welcome to today's daily puzzle of Fog Machine. Let's get right to it. So what do I see? Well, I see that we are in an endgame with one of our pawns hanging to their bishop. Now, what I also notice is that we have two forward pawns, both which are somewhat threatening promotion. Now, how can we actually achieve anything? Because let's say we push this pawn in with the idea of going for a promotion. Well, we push in once, they move their bishop over, we push in once more, and they capture said pawn. Now, we could bring in the other pawn, which actually forces them to capture, because if they don't capture, well, then we can push this pawn in. They might still move over, but if we then push once more and they capture, we can use the other pawn to capture the bishop and promote anyway. To that effect, they are forced to capture at that interval. But once they have captured that pawn and we start pushing, well, that's not gonna be the right way to go. Why not? Because they still can do this. And that means that we have to win tempo somehow. And luckily to do that, we have our final pawn over here, which we can use its double move to deliver a check. Now, in this case, the king captures, but it doesn't really matter what they do, as we still will be able to pass. Let's say the king had moved backwards. Well, if they did that, we simply would have pushed our pawn forward. They could still move their bishop in. We would have moved on the danger square, but the other pawn would still be there blocking the bishop. So sure, they can capture the pawn that we have over there, but our other pawn can promote. Now the trap here is that you would capture the pawn, but that would actually mean that they would have enough time to set up, because once we capture, the king can move out of the way, we push in, they move the bishop over, we promote and they capture. So that means that instead of capturing the pawn, we simply have to push our pawn, keep going, they move out of the way, but are just too late, as we can now promote. There we go. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like. If you aren't yet, please consider subscribing, and hopefully see you next time. Bye.